Now for something entirely different. Chapel Chimes. These are made who knows when. I don't see a date code that I can recognize. 6-183B? I don't know. It's got a tube amp in it here, a couple of nice big heavy relay, and as you can see, these are solenoids down here. These pop up and strike. This little domed surface strikes the bottom like that and makes a little ding when the chime gets hit. Can't really ding them very good without something to... No, it sure doesn't. There we go. Okay. They have all kinds of this rusty, dusty stuff all over them. I tried to wipe it down a bit, but one of the keys was broken. As you can see, the construction on the key is such that they use a hinge. This part screws down with a plate on top of it. Up there, where the keyboard is. The keyboard actually is on a long wire. It can be pulled out and taken to some remote location. So you can put this under some old lady and scare her in the middle of the service. No. So you can obviously play it without a large object next to you. And the range on it's limited. It's got a little 8-inch speaker or something in there. The tube amp drives. There's a pickup of some kind in here that takes the sound. It sounds kind of cool. They engineered it for kind of a nifty sound, but it doesn't have a lot of volume, obviously, out of that little speaker and amp. You got a 6AQ5 and a 6AQ5. It's probably a 15-watt maximum power out or so on that one. And anyway, what I decided to do is to use E6000 adhesive to try to fix this. I'll see if Puget Organ might have some of these keys. I'm not sure. They have one listed on their webpage, so it might be something. So I took my handy dandy knife, I took a piece of plastic, and I went, let's see. And then I was thinking of my dad, how I used to make fun of him. He'd be cutting some insulation. Dad, don't you think you should measure that? And he'd stick it on, it'd fit every time. I'm like, how do you do that? And I just go, and I'm thinking back, well, I should measure this, right? I don't even have to measure it. And I cut the piece out. Here it is. I'm serious. I did not measure this. Look at that. It's within 2 thousandths. That's bizarre. Anyway, that was probably lucky, but you develop those things over the years, and you do get better at it. I don't think usually I'm quite that good. I just thought that was a prime example, and I better video it and show you. No, anyway, yeah, but I've got a nice little piece of tough plastic there now that I can layer on there with E6000 or Goop Automotive, and that way it sticks out a little bit so you'll see it, and it won't be a big cosmetic blem. That way I can cut it probably right there so it won't stick out to where you actually hit it. So that's one way to repair a key like this, I believe. I can super glue the interface and then layer the thing with the goop adhesive and this thing under it, sandwich just a little layer, because that stuff dries like rubber bands, so it won't add much tension to the key. Alright, and we're back to find a fully dried key here. As you can see, we got some goop adhesive on the end of the screwdriver. Yeah, the piece of plastic just layers on the top there with the Goop Automotive adhesive sandwiched between it and crushed down, so it makes a nice solid connection across the surface. And you see the old crack there where I super glued it initially just to get it tacked, so I could do that. Yeah, I also managed to get these strings strung between a few of those. You have to attach it to the spring down here. I pulled the little solenoids, cut the wire here, and pulled the solenoids down so these wires can come off. These are quick disconnects, so if one of your notes doesn't work, it might be that. And otherwise, probably the string broke or the entire string up here broke and the thing collapsed. And if you don't have those, they're like a hairband, very tiny hairband for a Barbie or something. But maybe that would work. Hairbands for Barbies. I don't know if they have those accessories. Yeah, somebody once tried to sign me up for Barbie Bazaar, but I didn't follow through on it. Yeah, people were kind enough to send a letter saying, "Did you really want this, sir?" Somebody on the internet. So I thought it would be funny. Anyway, alrighty, well, that's pretty much the conclusion of that one. I think we've covered the essentials of what might happen with one of these things. These just have a contact underneath that hits a big, I mean, it's very, very industrial grade, the contacts up there. I don't think you'd ever see a problem with those. And yeah, just keys breaking, probably these things breaking, and probably solenoids maybe sticking if they get something in them or something, but they look pretty good. These have a very nice little felt there that isn't like we'd ever wear, and a shaft that looks like it's pretty good metal. I don't think you're gonna ever see one of those fail. And back to my cluttered bench here. Finally got time to finish aligning everything here. These what is that? I don't know. But anyway, just noticed something that's kind of like, I don't know, something's stuck on that one. I don't want to braze that off, but anyway, you have to align these things so that these wires go through the hole, and they actually, you'll see when the solenoid hits, the wire goes up and lets it ring, and when it comes back down, it hits the edges of these little holes here, and actually serves to dampen the sound so that it dies out quicker. Doing that again. I thought we had that. This one occasionally is really quiet. I don't know why yet. Pretty loud. That one rings a little longer. It's hard to get them exactly right. I'm not sure it's just maybe a characteristic of the times, but we spent quite a bit of time trying to get everything lined up as good as we could there. That one damps out too much. I may have to move that up. So in those cases, you know, you just take your screwdriver. There it is. That's the one. Now you'll see we'll loosen this screw here and just move this up a little bit. There we go. Let's see if that helped. Better, I think. Boy, that one really rings out, doesn't it? But a lot of that's because the back's open. Possibly we're just getting odd resonances. We'll put the back on it. Show you what it actually looks like here, since I guess you guys haven't seen the rest of it yet. Here's the little keyboard, volume control and switch, and there's the key I repaired, working nicely there. And it's, yeah, I got this little grill on the front where the speaker comes out. So this whole thing can be lifted out with 4 screws, and then you can put it wherever you want it. And the top, of course, closes. Anyway, and give you some close-up in back here. See the way it's built a little closer up. I guess we didn't do that yet. I'll get it all prepped to ship here. But yeah, there's your little damper wires. Wow, you can't go that close and really be in focus with this, I guess. But you see the strings that go up, they go from a spring down here up through a hole, through the hole in the bar, through another hole, and they tie there. And then up top you just got a little hoop, and there are some extras in a packet in there in case one of those ever breaks. They're pretty easy to hook up to those screws, and those screws can be pulled in and out to adjust. One of them was too close and it actually was rubbing up on top, so I had to adjust it out some. Anyway, big extension cord and the little tube amp and relay. Alright, well, that is the Chapel Chime. Weigel of Sound Doctorin signing off.